Kyle.
Here.
Dennis Miller.
Here.
Angela Woodward.
Here.
Dan Lawson.
Here.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening and welcome everyone to the November 5th meeting of the Ashland City Council. It is Election Day. I want to take a minute to say thank you to all those who participated in the American political process. So with that, we'll move right to our agenda. First item will be the approval of the minutes from the October 15th meeting. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections to those minutes, I'll ask for a motion to approve as submitted.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Lawson.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Minutes will stand approved. First ordinance this evening will be an ordinance authorizing the issuing of a then and now certificate for the following attached expenditures for the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full. Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Good evening.
Good evening, Larry.
The ordinance before you, these are anticipated expenditures that the departments did anticipate on receiving. Unfortunately, a purchase order was not created before the invoice was received by the city. So at this point, I would ask that you would approve these.
Certainly. Got to pay the bills.
Pay the bills.
Any discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. Motion to approve the ordinance?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Ordinance 66-24.
Item B is a item we are revisiting for a proposed vacated alley in connection with Bell Avenue, if council recalls. We have to first remove this from the table, and then we can proceed with action. So with that, is there a motion to remove item B from the table?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Very good. With that, we can proceed. This will be an ordinance to vacate a certain unimproved street situated in the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full. Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
So at our last city council meeting, we actually had a public hearing to discuss the possible vacation of this portion of alleyway that extends off Bell Avenue on the north side of town. At the public hearing, which usually after those public hearings, the Board of Revision and Assessment will take action if it's meets all the measures they use to decide whether or not it should be vacated. But at that particular meeting, because our finance director was not present, we decided we would wait until he returned because he's one of the 3 members of the Board of Revision and Assessments. So today, we're bringing it back. The item on the agenda describes this alleyway, having a hard time there getting my words together. At the last hearing, these 2 property owners were present. They both were in agreement with the vacation. And right now, it serves exclusively as a driveway for one of the residents. And so with that in mind, I think the consensus was that it didn't serve a public use. And so we would wait until the Board of Revision and Assessment came back together to decide whether or not to recommend to the council to vacate it. So that is the situation.
And that is actually a street, not an alley, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
All right.
Ends at the bottom of the blue line. My understanding is that that is the segment that is being considered for vacation.
Well, is there any further right of way below that?
Let me see. I'll see if we can get an answer.
There has to be, because there's a sewer line in there. There has to be a
The red
utility
line.
right of way someplace in there. I guess a question I also have is the property,
We're looking at a map on this phone, that's why he and I are studying this. Also, it is all the way back through there then, but we're only asking to vacate. That's right, it's already been vacated, it's just that segment that is highlighted in blue, see the line? No. The red line right there. So does that make sense? Did you see, Larry?
I did.
I'm sorry, I don't
No,
have that
that's
up on
fine.
the big screen, but
I guess the only other question I have, Mayor, is the property behind that. Do they have access somewhere else to get to this parcel?
off of 12th Street.
Off at 12?
And
This
here's-
parcel here.
Yes, and I'll
Okay.
show you this again.
I'm sorry that,
These questions didn't come up at the hearing, so that's why we weren't prepared for the,
Thought we had a larger
there
aerial
is,
view.
this
of
person
that
owns that.
prior.
And that.
oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
I had
If
it
someone
up
wants
on,
to see this, I can show you here.
I had it up on GIS.
Amanda, didn't we have a larger aerial
I can't
of
get
that
it below.
before?
I don't think so.
No, we didn't.
No? Okay.
So basically,
Yeah, it's already been
this
vacated.
property owner owns
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yep. Do you guys want to see?
yeah, makes sense.
So, this property owner, 1828, owns that, and that. So they can access those from 12th Street. And right here is our little alley.
Yeah.
So Mr. Wolf's question was, does that continue all the way out to 12? Whoops, but you can see it's already been vacated in the past. See, it says vacated, see that?
Yes.
The AC,
Okay,
so it is just that segment.
just that's,
Very good.
Right.
So,
When he's done, I'll pass it
This,
off formally, yeah.
this-
Thank you.
well,
So he was worried about
those
access.
two are there, yes, so
Yeah.
it is there.
I
Okay.
I follow you. We shouldn't have even read the summary, yeah. You mind if I,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's all right.
Well, we touched the screen there, Steve.
I can see it. It's okay.
So basically, those two.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
All right, very good. All right, with that, then we'll pass it off to the Board of Revision and Assessments for further discussion before voting. We do want to allow for any public comment. If anyone is here who desires to speak on the matter, please feel free to step up to the podium and state your name for our minutes and
So just so you know, what we're looking at is, the map we're looking at, because that's kind of awkward to put you in a situation where you don't know what we're all looking at. That is the map of the immediate area where the proposed street exists. However, what we were looking at is a bigger map to show all the surrounding properties going up to 12th Street, including your own. Because are you Mrs. Klein?
yes.
Are you Klein? No, what is your name? Kaufman. Or yes, Kaufman, I meant Kaufman, yes. All right. So we were actually looking at yours. We were actually looking at your properties and the 3 parcels that you own.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And of course, you can access your residence from 12th Street.
Yeah, from 12th Street, yeah.
So, and then from there, of course, it looks like, is it another home behind your home, or is it
Yeah,
a?
that's what- yeah,
Oh,
there's
okay.
two, there's one in front, one behind.
Okay,
See, the one is on Bell, you know,
I see.
so to get back to that one, they close the alley, say, can you go Bell Avenue or off of 12th Street?
And right now, it doesn't have a drive off Bell, but it's off,
Because it's open, it's an open alley,
I see,
It's open.
yep. So how does someone access it today? That house back there, how do you access it?
Now, that has never been open back there. I mean, it is, but they don't access it as a driveway to the back property. It never has been.
Okay.
That I know in 50 years,
Okay,
okay?
I see.
We just use the front yard.
Okay, so let me tell you the process.
Okay.
The vacation was proposed, and the reason, because it looks as though it does not serve a public use. In other words, the public's not using that roadway to get anywhere.
Because the other end's closed.
Yes, so as a result, it was brought to the council to vacate it so that the two property owners can split it. We have to set a public hearing, which we had at our last council meeting, and everyone spoke positive about it that was in our company. No one objected to it. And the next step is to have the Board of Revision and Assessment determine whether they will recommend to the full city council to vacate it. The Board of Revision and Assessment is the finance director, the law director, and the mayor. And so, right now, what I'm going to do is call our meeting to order, and then we can entertain discussion. So, at this time, I will call the meeting of the Board of Revision and Assessment to order. All three members are present, so we'll entertain a motion.
I would move that the Board of Revision recommend to the city council that this street this section of the street be vacated.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a second, and now we'll open it up for discussion.
Yeah, I'd like to hear if anybody has something to say that was not brought up at the previous meeting or anything you wish to reiterate.
What's yours?
Is there anyone opposing this?
My sister-in-law, which is Vicky Kaufman, lives in that property.
Which
My husband is
property
part
is
owner
it?
of that property.
The one on
But
12,
when you
the L
close
shape.
an
You can't
alley,
see.
whatever is against your property, half of it goes to you and the other half goes to the other person that's against it. Am I not right, Mr. Miller?
So, your property, though, is not along that drive, so at the end of the alley vacation on that map, right here, in other words, her property would border there, so what does she get? I don't think she gets anything, does she? These two split it, but does this person split it?
Perhaps
No. Your property line stops back there by the fence. And those other, whatever in her property is there, those two parcels, the width of them, the length, from point B to point A would be hers, half of it. And then the other one would be that rental, or whatever that other house is, off of Bell. Yours would be up there.
That's the part we was talking about last time, the people, I didn't know that owned that house, that they said they was gonna give it to us.
Yes.
Because they didn't even want the other half, they wouldn't have it all, if I remember right.
Yes.
That's what I
And
remember.
that's what they're discussing, I mean, she's saying, cause like I got to the fence, and she goes from there down to where it closed at 12th Street. You know, they already closed half of it off, like,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
that's
a long
been
time ago.
closed a long time ago.
And so now when you close this, if they wouldn't have said, you know, you can have it, because they didn't want it, so it would have been half. They would have got their half, I would have got my half. That's the same way what would happen from there by my fence back to where it's closed at. You know what I'm saying?
Who owns this property?
They was here last week, I don't know what their names was, but they're the ones that don't want it. They just said, we'll just give you that property.
Who owns this property? Anybody here?
What, inside the fence?
The next piece.
That's Vicky's.
The swimming pool.
No, that's
That's what I thought.
in
That's
my
yours.
fence, Yeah,
That's
it ain't there no more.
That's his.
That's your property.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mine, that's good.
And who owns this one?
Vicky.
I do.
Okay.
Off at 12.
Well, here's a couple things to keep in mind. If that property came partly from this property and partly from that property, then it goes back to it, just as the way it was before the street was ever put in there. Now, there are some certain situations where it all came from one side or the other and it all goes back to that property, but that's very rare. So most times, the line is somewhere down the middle or, like, see right here is the property line, and
Yeah.
that extends if this is a necessary means of ingress and egress for this property and/or this property, it has to still be used for that. The parties can't just put a fence down the middle and keep the other person from using it.
That fence ain't in the middle of it.
Well, I'm not saying it is, I said a
Right.
fence.
Well, you can't build nothing on that road, where I park at anyway, because there's a man cover.
The storm
that goes
sewer, yeah.
from
I understand.
Bell Avenue to 12th Street.
I was trying to explain about where it goes and how, who owns it and that sort of thing. But the purpose of vacating is to say, you know, theoretically, it was a street that could have been put in there at some point. And that's long gone, that possibility. But, so the city has a right of way and doesn't have any further interest in the right of way. It doesn't serve any public purpose. It's not used by the public as a right of way. And we don't have any need for it. We, the city, doesn't have any need for it. So there's I'm not seeing any good reason not to vacate it. Now, as far as somebody wanting to give its portion to the other party,
Right.
that's between you folks. That has nothing to do with this process.
And that's what they said when the last meeting, they wanted us, me and her, to have all the rest,
Well,
They're happy.
that can be arranged, but you need to see a private attorney about that and maybe have a
thing drawn.
survey done and transferred. But as far as this property down here, yeah, I guess there's a few feet here and here in this corner where that would be affected. That's,
Well, see,
because
where you guys got that,
this would only go to the back of your property line here. And
yes,
so-
but what you're saying there, okay, where you got that blue line, that alley actually goes down to a tree line, is where it's closed at. Then from there down is the part that's closed. But Vicky's yard is right there, mine and hers connect right there.
Yeah.
So when you say you're gonna close it, you'd have to go down to the tree line.
We're not closing
I mean,
anything.
you're gonna
It's just
vacate it.
We're giving up our right.
Right, right. That, that's what I'm saying. And like I said, like I told them last meeting, I took care of this from there on for 25 years.
No.
Brent took care of part of that
My
too.
nephew.
I hear what you're saying.
Well, you want to take
Because
care of
it still looks like it goes all the way back, but the previous part's already been vacated. The previous section's already been vacated. It even says vacated on the tax bill. So where's the tree line? So,
I don't see any basis to not vacate it because it's not serving a public purpose. And if there's some private arrangements that the adjoining properties want to make, which includes to a very small extent this parcel right here for that little corner, that's between you folks to try to take care of that.
Yeah, because I know they said they didn't want none of it, because if they only give you my part where you got the blue line, then here's my part, then it's gonna come in like this halfway to Vicky, then they gotta mow, they'll have to mow this way, then out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the reason why they said they just wanted to give it all to the V.
Well, that's something you have to work out.
Right, which they agreed to, so I don't see any problem with having them.
Yeah, but you need to have it legally done, because if that guy moves out and you don't have anything legally that he agreed to have, you have the whole access, then you're stuck back to where it was. So wanted to make sure you understood that.
Motion's been made.
All right, do we have any further discussion?
I think the only other comment is that there are two sewer lines on that property, and even though the city is giving up its control of that right-of-way, the city still reserves the right
Correct.
to go in and repair, replace, or whatever of that. So even though it's vacating that street, it still cannot be built on or something like that because of the utility
that's an important point that Mr. Paxton raises, because if you were to build a structure on it, if you had to tear it down in order to make a repair, it'd be at your expense.
Just like the mayor says, I can't because you got that man
Right.
thing running from 12th Street to Bell Avenue. You can never build on it. You made that clear last time. You can't build on
Yep.
it.
All right, so no further discussion? Then what, all in favor of vacating the proposed section of street shown on the map, signify by saying aye, and we'll call the roll, I guess.
Okay, Mayor Miller,
Aye.
Larry Paxton,
Aye.
Rick Wolf.
So now the Board of Revision and Assessment has voted to recommend to the full city council the vacation of that proposed section of street located off Bell Avenue, and I'll let you take it
All
from
right,
there.
thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board, for taking the time to answer the questions and go into more detail on the matter. So I hope that meets with your approval, Mrs. Kaufman. And we'll proceed accordingly. So with this then, is there a motion to approve the vacation on the first reading?
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Pardon me?
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Ordinance 67-24.
So now it has been vacated, so it's no longer a public alleyway, and it will be split between the 2 property owners, or perhaps 3 on the backside. And if in fact you want to proceed to change and that by working with the neighbor, that's up to you two to,
Like I said, last time I was there, I didn't even know who it was.
yes, yes,
People, everybody had, what'd she say, 7 of them houses?
yeah. It's a group home, yeah,
Well, 14.
yeah.
Very good. I will add the ordinance is effective immediately as well, so. All right. Moving on then to item C, we have an ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance to amend appropriations for the calendar year 2024 and declare an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Is there a
Second.
Is there a
Kyle?
second? Oh,
Thank you.
did we get a second?
I think Dan second.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
The ordinance before you, as we get closer to the end of the year, we attempt to balance budgets and line items and funds. This is an attempt to create additional appropriations for the calendar year '24 for the transit, the street, and the park fund, respectively, and they have incurred some expenses that do require these appropriations. And I might add, I want to thank the clerk. We only changed about a half a dozen of these in the last, let's say, 6 or 7 hours. And she's been very kind to help us do that, and I
She's
appreciate
a
that.
clerk worth thanking. I would agree.
Dennis was
Yes.
pretty upset too, so.
Any questions for Mr. Paxton?
Rough crowd.
Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So move.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Ordinance 68-24.
Next, we have an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Finance to make the following transfers within the 2024 appropriations and declare an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
I will repeat my comment that I made just a few minutes ago of the many changes were done today as we tried to shore up some expenditures and lines in an effort to meet the immediate needs of the general fund as well as the street and the park and the transit and the probation and the police 60, the water sewer, the sanitation, and the income tax. These were lines that needed to be moved around in an effort to try to meet the need as we approach the end of the year.
Certainly.
I assure you, we are not done, but we're probably a little closer maybe. But,
That was a warning, Terry.
pardon me?
I said, that was a warning, Terry.
Yeah.
Any questions for Mr. Paxton? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Move to approve. Oh, second.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
And
Aye.
motion to approve the ordinance?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Ordinance 69-24.
Keeping up with last week.
Yeah.
Then we have an ordinance establishing the appropriate zoning district for a certain area of the city of Ashland, Ohio.
Move for non-reading in full. Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
At a previous council meeting this year, we approved the annexation of .585 acres on the north side of our city, located on State Route 511, next to the Simonson Construction Services headquarters. Simonson Construction Service acquired the property immediately adjacent to them. Right now, I believe there's still a house there, a farmhouse, and maybe a barn, if I remember correctly. They are planning to expand their footprint at that location. We did approve the annexation, but now that we've officially approved the annexation, we need to zone that property. And what is being asked of you tonight is to consider zoning it light industrial, M1, which would match the land that's around it.
Questions, concerns? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So
So
moved.
move.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Ordinance 70-24.
And we have an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor, director of public service, to enter into a contract modification for Fourth Street Development UST removal and remediation project in the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
This particular parcel that we're speaking of tonight is part of the Pump House District area. And recently, we completed a Phase 1 and Phase 2 environmental study of that site in preparation for all the new construction that we hope to see soon at that location. And during those environmental site assessments, it was determined that there is an additional underground storage tank located on one of the city-owned properties there, just north of Commercial Avenue. Commercial Avenue, I think most of you know where that's at. It's not, doesn't get a lot of traffic, and a lot of people may not know it by that name, but it's right through there, the south side of 4th Street. And basically, tonight, we're asking you to authorize us to move forward with the removal and cleanup of any contaminated soil or other remediation that needs to take place around that tank. Originally, we thought it was going to be around 25,000 when the tank was first discovered to remove it, but with the other contaminated soil and so on around it, it is going to be more. Regardless of how much it is, right now in this ordinance, we're saying that we're just covering ourselves. We do not know that it's going to be up to 150,000, but we're covering ourselves with the ordinance by asking you to approve or authorize us to spend up to 150,000 for the cleanup at that site. But know this, that all of the expense will be paid for by the state of Ohio's brownfield remediation program. So we'll be reimbursed for our cost, but we're asking you to authorize us to spend up to 150,000 to clean up any contamination that might be there around the tank.
Very good.
Where is it?
So if you can picture the Third Street Brethren Church,
Yep,
Commercial Avenue is behind
yep.
that Brethren Church.
Yep,
And you
yep.
know, I think it may not surprise us too much, because if you recall, there was a filling station back there.
Okay.
We owned it and we removed it, and we removed one tank, I believe, at that time. But evidently, when you go back in history, it must have been a bigger footprint for that gas station or service station, and there was an additional tank.
Okay,
So,
all right. I was thrown off by Commercial Avenue because I'm like, it parallels Fourth.
Exactly.
But it's in between the two,
yes,
like near the
Is there,
laundry mat
is there,
area.
yes, behind the laundromat.
Okay, great.
is there a max the Brownfield will reimburse us for?
That's a great question. We're getting a sizable brownfield remediation grant to help us with a number of aspects of that area. It's larger than 150,000.
Okay.
So I would suggest to you that yes, it probably would. We're hoping to spend it on some other parts of that project, but yes,
I mean,
there's more money available, but we have uses for it as well.
Sure.
So,
Just
and that
what-
is in code for, we've got other contamination. That's some of the other things that you just have to do to build apartments and so on that site.
yeah,
So,
wouldn't really surprise me if it exceeds 150, but hopefully not.
I think they feel they've left a big enough margin
Okay.
to make sure it's done.
I hope so.
But you never know. You never know once you start moving the dirt.
So as I understand it, if we don't do this, it would render that property useless. So
Yes.
why would we want to have a useless lot
That's exactly
sitting
right.
right there in the middle
Yep.
of the?
So what we're seeking is a no further action designation,
Right.
so that we can
Proceed.
repurpose it in whatever way we desire.
Yep.
All right. With that then, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Ordinance 71-24.
And we have an ordinance authorizing the assignment of a community reinvestment area tax incentive agreement with Chesterland Productions, PLL, as authorized by ordinance number 49-16 to 400 Westlake Drive LLC for the remainder of the term and upon the same terms and conditions of the original community reinvestment area agreement, so authorized by ordinance 49-16.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
This ordinance is related to the fact that Aztec, otherwise known as Return Polymers by many, continues to grow here in our community out on Westlake Drive. And as a result of that growth, they have recently acquired one of the warehouses on the south side of Westlake Drive. It's a 75,000 square foot warehouse that many would know as one of Jerry Baker's properties. And 8 years ago, Jerry Baker, when he built that warehouse, received a community reinvestment agreement. It was a 50% reduction on the real property taxes for 10 years. And now that the building has been sold to Return Polymers, Aztec, their name is actually Aztec, but
AZAC.
AZAC,
AZAC.
yes.
AZAC.
But everyone usually when you say AZEC, everyone's like, what? So it's Return Polymers is how many in Ashland know it, but it is AZEC, is the name of the company. They are asking that they be able to live out the agreement. And so basically what you're doing is transferring the agreement to the new owner, and they will get the last 2 years. Does that make sense? It's a 10-year agreement. It started 8 years ago. The terms are all the same. It's just they will get the benefit of the final 2 years of the community reinvestment agreement. And the truth is, they're continuing to create jobs and generate income in our community, so it's a
Win-win.
good situation all around.
That's one of those quiet companies that you
Yes.
don't
Yes.
hear much about, but they do a phenomenal job.
Yes, they do.
The management is top-notch, the owners are top-notch. It's a-
Yes.
I think as of a year ago, they had recycled over a billion
It's crazy.
tons of plastic at that facility. 1 billion tons.
So
That's a lot.
That
PVC,
is a lot.
vinyl siding, vinyl windows, just about anything that is vinyl,
And
they,
the pellets.
yep, they turn into pellets and repurpose into other items. And just recently, I learned that they provided all of the exterior materials for the Davy McClure Education Center that the Park
cool.
District is
Nice.
building.
Cool.
And it's beautiful. They look like shaker shingles, but they're obviously made of those recycled plastic materials, and of course have a tremendous life expectancy. But they are also going to team up with them, I guess, to even do more benches and so on around, because you know, you often see those PVC benches in public spaces. So again, it is a company that is definitely giving back to our community and
Absolutely.
continues to grow in our
Yes.
community.
Yeah.
Not the least of which, just as an FYI, they gave the theater $250,000
Yeah.
for the renovation of the theater. Because they wanted to make sure that their employees also had things to do for entertainment in our community, so.
I will point out, this is not a new agreement. It is transferable per the original agreement
Yes,
with the other company, so totally within the same agreement.
And they've just continued to build at that location.
I know,
They
I
just
know.
build, and every time they get something built, they start planning the next
Yes.
building, so they are definitely investing in Ashland, so. Good folks out there.
Yes.
Hearing no further discussion, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. I'll again move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second,
Thank you.
again.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Ordinance 72-24.
Item H on the agenda will need to be read in full as well as item I. And so with that, I'll begin. We have an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor, director of public service, to enter into a contract with Vasco for the West Park Pickleball Court project in the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Whereas the West Park Pickleball Court project is immediately necessary and provide for the continued efficient and effective operation of West Park and the pickleball courts in Ashland, city of Ashland. And whereas, for the above reasons, the ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure effective September 17th, 2024.
That is
Okay.
correct.
It is, okay. And necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, property, health, safety, and welfare of the city of Ashland, Ohio. Now and therefore, be it ordained by the council of the city of Ashland, state of Ohio, 5 members thereto concurring. Section 1, that the mayor, director of public service be and is hereby authorized and directed to enter into a contract with Vasco for the West Park Pickleball Court project in accordance with the specifications attached as Exhibit A. Section 2, that the mayor is hereby authorized to eliminate any and all the above improvements from the above project if he shall determine the same shall be in the best interest of the city of Ashland. Section 3, that the estimated cost for the said project is $300,000. Said money has been appropriated to be paid from account number not listed as determined by the Director of Finance. Section 4, that because West Park Pickleball Court Project is immediately necessary to provide the continued efficient and effective operation of West Park and the pickleball courts in the city of Ashland, this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure immediately necessary for the preservation of the public peace, property, health, safety, and welfare of said city of Ashland. And Section 5, that this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage by council and approval pursuant to Section 12 of the Charter of the City of Ashland, Ohio. So ends the reading. And this should make Pastor George Swain very happy because he is an avid pickleball player.
Fantastic.
Would you say this is needed?
I think it's a very, pickleball is a growing sport.
Yes, it
And
is.
the courts are full,
Yeah.
at the YMCA as well as out in common room.
Thank you for that. Mayor?
So this is a very unique situation, and our council president actually took special note of the fact that this is asked to be effective September 17th, 2024. Well, at the Mayor's Golf Classic, as you know, I often host Lloyd and Norma Wygant. And they, of course, provided tremendous gifts out there at the golf course, everything from paying for the brand-new pavilion to re-siding the clubhouse, and they continue to keep an eye on what's going on out at the golf course. So I invite them every year to join me, and we drive around with the golf cart and so on. Well, during one of those trips around the 9 holes, none of us play, but we all drive the cart. I will tell you that Lloyd turns to me, and Lloyd says, "You think we need more pickleball courts?" And I turned to him and I laughed and I said, "Well, you know, the parks director and I have talked about the possibility of turning the tennis courts out at Brookside West into pickleball courts. They're in pretty shabby condition and cracked and broken up asphalt, but it would be a good location. It would be on the opposite side of town." He said, "Well, I think so too." And he said, "How much would it cost you?" Well, believe it or not, as fate would have it, I did have the price because Jason, our parks director, and I had been looking into it, and I quoted him a price. I think I quoted him a price of about $175 that day. Well, he said, "Well, I think you better build them." And I turned to him and I laughed and I said, "You think we should build them?" I said, "Are you going to build them?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll build them. I'll take care of them. You just give me the contract out, but you need to get them started. They need to get the construction started this year." And so we immediately contacted Vasco and asked them, "Can you start?" And no, we wouldn't be able to. And we told them, "Now listen, this is a unique situation. We have a community member who's been very generous that wants these courts. Would you be willing to help?" Well, I will tell you, they put the pavement down yesterday. So they started right away tearing everything up, and we did not receive the gift until yesterday. The gift was $189,000. So $189,000 generous gift from Lloyd and Norma Wygant to construct additional pickleball courts out at Brookside West. And because the contractor basically told us, "We gotta get started. If you really are serious about us getting that surface down by the end of this year, we gotta go." And so that's why we told them, "Go ahead," because we trusted the Wygants that they would keep their pledge. And sure enough, they did, but yesterday we received the money. So tonight, it's on the agenda being read because now we know how, at least the vast majority of it's going to be paid for. There is an additional cost for the fencing, and then if we do lighting, but we're confident that the city's park budget should be able to absorb that, if not in this year's budget, which it may not be this year's budget, next year's. So one way or the other, the courts are being built.
As the ordinance reads, it is immediately necessary for the preservation of the public peace. From firsthand experience, if those pickleballers aren't allowed to play pickleball, there's not much
That's
public
right.
peace.
They get
So
grumpy.
we need to provide pickleball courts.
Well, I can vouch for the fact I play pickleball with my family.
Do you?
And often we go down there and sometimes you have to wait.
Yes.
And that doesn't provide peace when you have to sit there and wait.
That's right. No one wants to wait.
So it would be nice that there's another set of
Yes.
courts, you know.
Yes,
so-
and it takes a crowd out to Brookside West.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, the introduction of those pickleball courts at Con Grove in many ways has totally turned around that park.
Yep.
So I think we'll see more activity at Brookside West.
There's always activity at Congrove now.
While we're talking about Brookside West, I will also tell you the Parks Director and I, as well as the Mental Health and Recovery Board Director, have been making some trips out to Brookside West because we're thinking it might be a good idea to have a paved walking trail around Brookside West, similar to that of Freer Field. Because Freer Field is getting tremendous use, but we've got beautiful scenery at Brookside West. And actually, if you go out to Brookside West, years ago, someone was, in essence, creating the foundation for a trail around the pond, over the bridge, and you can totally make a wonderful loop around that park. And really, the foundation's there. It's a matter of finding the money to put asphalt down. Our street department director, who happens to be our parks director, believes that they can do it. And so don't be surprised if, I'm not sure if it'll have to come to you or not. It'll depend on the cost, but we will, don't be surprised if someday soon you might see a new paved pathway out at Brookside West.
That'd be nice. Thank you to the wagons for keeping the peace.
Yes.
Amen, amen.
And health.
I'm just gonna comment real quick and say, it is tremendous when you consider the wide breadth, that's not the way I wanna say that, how many different aspects of the community the Wygants are impacting.
Yes.
And it's everything from the schools, to the athletic training facility and the new entryway into the stadium, to the parks with the golf course improvements, and now the pickleball courts once again. There's other places, the YMCA, they're making gifts all across the different parts of the quality of life of our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the arch over Main Street,
Yeah, I was
can't
gonna say,
forget the arch.
I didn't wanna say it because
Yes, yes.
I was like, they're the arch too.
Yes, they are. So anyways,
Thank you, Mayor.
we're very thankful.
If there's no further discussion.
I do have, Larry, in reading the ordinance, I think the record needs to show that Vasco is a member of Sourcewell, which is the cooperative purchasing program the city belongs to. And I neglected to include that in the ordinance, but it should reflect in the record that they are a member of that, and that's why we can get around that bidding process because of that membership.
Very
Okay,
good.
sorry,
They are the entity that built the ones at Congrove as well.
right.
They did a very nice job.
They work for all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of public schools, and they're constantly in this area.
Our clerk will make sure that's in the minutes, Larry. Thank you. Very good. With that then, no further discussion. Is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Ordinance 73-24.
And finally, we have an ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance to transfer funds from one fund to another with the annual appropriations and declaring an emergency. This particular ordinance will also need to be read in its entirety due to the late arrival to include in tonight's agenda. With that, I'll move forward with the reading. We have whereas an ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance to transfer funds from one fund to another with the annual appropriations and declaring an emergency, and whereas the Street Fund 202 and the Park Funds 212 are in need of additional funding to continue in a positive position, and whereas this council desires to authorize the transfer of funds from the General Fund 101 to Street Fund 202 and the Park Fund 212. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Ashland, State of Ohio, its 5 members thereto concurring. Section 1, that the following transfer of funds for the calendar year 2024 for the City of Ashland to offset operating costs be the same in is hereby affirmed and directed to be made as follows. From Fund 101, General Fund 101-2901-58301, transfer out, expense $150,000. To Fund 202, Street Fund 202-0014-40902, revenue $75,000. To Fund 212, Park Fund number 212-0014-40902, revenue $75,000. Section 2, that in order to meet the immediate financial needs of the city of Ashland, Ohio, this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure immediately necessary for the preservation of the public peace, property, health, and welfare of said city of Ashland, Ohio. And Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage by council and approval pursuant to Section 12 of the Charter of the City of Ashland, Ohio. And that ends the reading. With that, Mayor?
So
Or
that
does
one.
that go to Larry?
Larry.
Forgive me.
Yes, no problem.
This ordinance allows for the transfer of monies from one fund to another. It's different than the transfer ordinance that you previously had done earlier in this meeting. It actually allows the money to move from one fund to the other. It's a requirement that this body has to approve that. It's not something that I could just do. And with that, it does shore up both the street and the park departments on some of their expenditures that they are incurring and will incur between now and the end of the year.
Very good. Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Ordinance 74-24.
All right, moving through our agenda then, we have no resolutions, no public hearing items, no old business or new business unless the council has something to bring forward. Hearing none, we'll move right to Finance Director's report. Larry?
I really have no report. It seems like I've probably done my share of work today, is trying to send stuff to you, and I greatly appreciate that. Again, I do thank the clerk because these two previous ordinances would have not gotten to you this evening without the diligent assistance and help. I appreciate that very much.
Again, we pay the bills, so, thank you. Council comments, Mr. Kyle?
I would just like to say, the leaf pickup has been awesome. I raked my leaves on Sunday afternoon, and they were gone on Monday. And they've been now replaced with a new batch of leaves, so from various parts of the city, because I don't have any trees at my house. But, no, the crew's doing an amazing job, so please pass that along.
Very good, thank you.
Hate to beat this drum again, but the speeding situation is just getting horrible. Just because the streets are paved doesn't have any impact on the speed limit of those streets. Just this afternoon, there was a 2-vehicle collision at the corner of Mifflin and Claremont, and it resulted in a rollover of one of the vehicles. Now, can you imagine how fast that person must have been going to T-bone somebody and make that car roll over at that intersection?
Trying to beat the
It's
light.
crazy. So please, and there's been many other accidents that have been over the last month, too numerous to illuminate here, but, and even myself driving around the street, people are real interested in the rear bumper of my car, and they are very proud of their middle finger because they want to show it off to me. So please, just slow down. We got a lot of kids, this is school time, got a lot of kids, traveling on sidewalks and crossing streets, and Ashland University students and everything else. So nowhere is worth going that fast if it results in a accident that might be fatal, or at least cause some injuries. So I'll keep beating the drum, and
All right.
that's all I got.
Angel?
A few things. I wanted to say how nice Claremont looks and how nice it is to drive down Claremont. It is like a piece of glass.
Just don't
Not
speed on
fast.
it.
Not fast, just drive down it. I also wanted to say, it's not a city park, but Fairfield just put in a new walking path. I seen a video tonight on Facebook, check it out. Although it's not a city park, it is amazing to go up there and walk around, and so that'll be great for people to get out this fall, and look forward to maybe one at a city park. That will be amazing as well, because people are always on that path, riding their bike or walking their dogs. Or,
Yes, they are.
so just want to give a big shout out and thank them for doing that.
Mr. Lawson?
Well, as we've all recognized, today is Election Day, and it seems almost apparent that regardless of the outcome of this election, 50% of our country is going to be outraged, and 50% of our country will not. So I just want to remind us of the city of Ashland, we're better people than that, and I would encourage you not to participate in any outrage or strong reaction to whatever the election might be. I firmly believe that after today, three things are going to still remain. I believe that God will continue to be sovereign. I believe that you will have a mayor and a city council that will continue to work hard for this city to improve our quality of life and to make sure it's a good city to live in. And I believe that Ashland will continue to be the world headquarters of nice people.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Lawson.
Thanks.
Mayor?
All right. Well, I'm going to go through a few things here real quickly. The pumpkin people, they will be taken down starting November 18th. A lot of people are asking us when they're coming down because they have relatives that want to visit or so on. We will be removing them November 18th, and the reason is because that's when we will begin putting up our Christmas decorations. As you know, our collection of Christmas decorations has steadily grown over the last several years, and now we have to start a little earlier than what we did in the past to make sure we have everything out for the week following Thanksgiving. So that's why those pumpkin people will be coming down, and then people have asked, will they come back? Yes, they will. They are now owned by the city, so they will come back next fall for everyone's enjoyment. Also, December 1st. December 1st is a date that I think everyone should put on your calendar. Councilmember Woodward just referenced that the Park District installed a new paved walking path in addition to what we've all known and grown to love out at Fairfield. Well, part of the impetus behind that installation is the fact that this year, Candy Cane Trail will be growing tremendously. In fact, if you recall last year when everyone was taking advantage of enjoying the wonderful lights, we made the comment repeatedly that perhaps this year we could try to set a world record. Well, we are on point right now to try to set the world record out at Fairfield for Candy Cane Trail and the amount of lights that will be displayed this year. So we are working with the Park District, we are working with the Poor Balls and Grandpa's Cheese Barn, and I would ask that you put December 1st on your calendar. That will be the kickoff for Candy Cane Trail this year, and I promise you that this year's kickoff will be something you won't want to miss. So December 1st. And it's crazy that we're talking about that, but do you realize that's less than a month away before we reach December 1st? Also, on a totally different note, I want to remind you that our Veterans Day breakfast takes place on Monday, November 11th. That will be out at the Eagles Club, and the time is 7:30 to 9 a.m. We invite any military veteran, active or past veteran, or you're always a veteran, any veteran to come out. You're allowed a guest, and we will have a marvelous breakfast for you this year. So that is on November 11th, Veterans Day, 7:30 to 9 a.m. On a totally different note, I do want you to know, because I've given you updates every now and then on this, right now, on a 76-degree day in November, As of today, the golf course has made over $960,000 in
Nice.
revenue. So it would be a record year for Brookside Golf Course. Now, that does not mean we made profit of $1 million, but our revenue has hit an all-time high. So that's great news, and it goes back to all the different community members who have invested in that golf course to make it truly a beautiful golf course. Also, while we're on the topic of the parks, I decided to let folks know, because I know a lot of our local sports teams use the main baseball, softball diamond out at Brookside. You know where the Wendy's Classic was held for years and so on. Our new scoreboard has arrived, so soon that will be going up as soon as the technicians can get to it. But for those that play at that field, they'll be glad to finally have a modern scoreboard out at that location. And I think that will conclude the list tonight. The Christmas parade is the following Saturday after the lighting. So what is that? 7 days? Is it 8? I thought it was the 8th.
7th.
Yep, okay. 7th? 7th, December 7th. So December 7th will be the Christmas parade.
Mayor, do you have a time for the December 1st?
December 1st, no, we do not have a time, but I would suspect that it would be around 6 or 7 PM in the evening.
And how
So
can
we'll
they find
release
out?
that.
How
Well,
can
we'll
peop-
release,
Okay,
we're still working on it.
all right,
But I do think everyone would want to note December 1st.
wonderful.
Because the truth is, we are on a mission to set the world record. And that's not just cheap lip service. We are on a serious mission to be designated as the city that has the world record at Candy Cane Trail. So more details will follow.
Very good. Thank you, Mayor. We'll move right then to comments and questions from our audience. If there's anyone who would like to address council, now is your opportunity. Seeing none, then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you.
Aye.
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 We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.